Let me ask you something. What defines a generation in your mind? Don't Google it, please. Like, come on now. We're better than this. The Google definition is a time span of around 15 to 20 years. That's when generations usually shift, and that's how they're categorized by the internet and people alike. But let's think a little bit deeper. What does it mean on a societal level when a generation changes? That's the answer I want. That's the question I kind of wanted to answer today, or at least look at in a fair light. Because currently, in the year 2023, almost 2024, we're almost Christmas time. Yay! Sure, Christmas. Have a nice video. Remember that. We are in generation failure. Yeah, generation failure. Jokes aside, Gen Z has not been the most impressive in my eyes, at least compared to some things that other people do. And once again, generalization. I know there's some great people in this generation. I know there's some great people my age, older, younger than me, who will do amazing things. They're already doing amazing things. I'm not trying to rag on y'all. But in general, something I noticed about this generation is it's not particularly the most noteworthy. The reason why I don't like to do this whole 15-20 year argument thing is because generations, they only got like shorter and shorter in terms of time spent between them as years go on. Like, think about it, right? Generations in like the 1100s were like hundreds of years. And think about it this way, right? So when silk was created, right? It was revolutionary. It destroyed the markets. Everyone wanted it, right? Think about how much time it took for silk to get there. Like, one guy on like his camel with a broken leg or some shit was walking around all of Asia, from, let's say, I think India to all the way out to some places like Greece. Now imagine that guy, right? How long it must have taken to get there. Nevertheless, how long it took the entire world to have this like common understanding and usage of silk. By the time that guy finally finished and everyone knew about it, and the last person in Greece is going to his friend like, yo, check out this shit, bro, it's tight. Some guy's already halfway down the path talking about some gunpowder. That's a little hyperbolic, but you kind of get my point, right? Trends have definitely spread more quickly because of the internet, and that's why these generation changes happen faster and faster, right? Because just 15-20 years ago, there was an entirely new generation with entirely new ethics and things. I think the most important thing to discuss in the matter is, hey, it's me, Pix. Do me a favor, subscribe. Thank you, I appreciate it. Is where you really draw the line in generation. Why you're able to distinguish people from different generations and organize them without it feeling redundant or useless. Some people, and this is a wide majority, I feel like draw the line in generations to try to preserve their childhood. Or not even childhood, but more of preserve their life. Like, they draw the line at where they believe that their world kind of ends, and then they try to encapsulate it in this little bubble under a folder name that everyone can remember as the time of this, the time of that. It might be just be a nostalgia thing, honestly, which would make sense because a lot of times when you mention things like generations, first things people talk about are the trends and commodities in that generation. The thing is with that thinking though, is that it's very selfish to the people in said generation, and maybe on a broader scale to everyone involved, it wouldn't be the most helpful in terms of organizing and cataloging our history for generations to come. Some people, and honestly, I gotta say I respect this a little bit, cut the line of the generation the second they stop liking how society like, they'll grow up in a generation and they'll like the people around them, and they'll respect it, you know? They'll be like, alright, cool. This is where I really was kicking it. This is all my homies. We all grew up together. And the second they see like one video of some 7-year-olds twerking on the internet for 1,000 likes, well, these Gen Z kids. My back hurts. Oh, these Gen Z kids. And I gotta say, that's not the worst way to kind of go about it I've ever seen. Because, listen, people are inherently selfish, and I think if you don't like society because of what it's changed to, I guess that's enough of an indicative change to where you could say that a generation has formed. That makes sense? As for what I think about it, I think in very simple terms, once people get old enough to teach a whole new era of people so many things that they've learned among their life, that's when we can really draw the line of where a generation starts and where it ends. Because then you carry on that knowledge, and then you hopefully improve upon it in the next generation. You keep going on until we're all better people at the end of the day. It's all about growth. It's all about a linear path. That shouldn't be something you encapsulate as the good years and then watch humanity crumble. And it shouldn't be something that you just want to keep to yourself because that's your nostalgia. It should be all about growing and trying to help the people ahead of you grow. At least that's what I believe. If you made it to the end, do me a favor. Write down what thing you remember most about the years of your generation. Besides that, have a good day.